Hey, what's up, you guys? Gavin here. Today we're going to be looking at a pretty exceptional band. I don't really listen to them a lot personally, but there's a couple of people that, really actually love this band. And yeah, so the band we're looking at today is Nine Inch Nails. The album we're looking at is With Teeth. So yeah, let's jump right in to what we're going to be talking about. Today we'll be talking about first impressions, lyrics, band similarities and slash dissimilarities between other bands, favorite song, and the singing and screaming styles that Nine Inch Nails employs. So yeah, first thing off of this is first impression. Now, I've heard this album a couple times, probably like a third time. It's a pretty decent album. The song that I really listened to first was a slower song, which was Right Where It Belongs, which is a slower song than I'm used to from Nine Inch Nails. Nine Inch Nails is usually about like drumming and industrial and a little more like lively stuff, electronica, if you will. So yeah, the first song is off this album. It's called All the Love in the World. And not being a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, I kind of find them kind of weird. They're not like bad weird or anything, but first of all, most bands or albums that I've been really into didn't just come from, the artist being a great artist. I mean, a lot of times it does. If they're a really good artist, then hell yeah. Awesome. This is gonna be a wonderful relationship, and I look forward to more stuff that they put out. But being the fact that, Nine Inch Nails is a newer band, usually the bands and albums that I really get into are bands that I've been into, and I've heard them over and over and over, and it's taken me time to I've been able to take my time with the album and appreciate it thoroughly, versus, jumping into an album or an artist and, kind of just being like right away, oh shit, but this is it. This is just the bee's knees. I've done that with a couple artists and it never worked out. I liked I looked up 15 new bands in one day, and I don't even listen to any of them anymore because I try to cram in too much all at once. Versus, finding a new band, taking the time to listen to them, and going from there. Being the fact that I've actually listened to this song a couple times, I can see now where I might like it. It's very slow. There's a nice bass in the background. The drum is pretty cool. There's a piano. The piano of this album is what keeps me coming back for more. They come off as a very seductive band. I feel like someone who listens to this band is probably a dancer of some sort. Maybe they might be seductive themselves. So, I don't know. That's just... Nine Inch Nails, if you know who Nine Inch Nails is, you know that their songs can be very provocative. So, it doesn't surprise me that this album is definitely in that direction. But to wrap up the first impression, I guess really the first impression of this actual album when I first heard it was that I didn't really like it. Unfortunately, it's a lot to take in at first, and unless it's a slower song, which is why the slow song that got me into this, surprisingly, is the one that made me check in on this album, was a really slow song, because it's easier to take in, and it's not so, in my face. as some of these other songs are, especially the lyrics. Like with the lyric, "Why do you get all the love in the world?" It just comes off a little like menacing and vindictive and a little vengeful. It's really strong emotion. But yeah, so that wraps up my first impression. Okay, so naturally, the next thing looking at is lyrics. So, and the first song is, of course, the song we were just going over, All the Love in the World. So, yeah, let's jump right into this. Okay, so it starts off, watching all the insects march along. Okay, interesting. Seem to know just right where they belong. We got a little bit of a preemptive type of thing going on here. We're going to be seeing that later on. Smearing, hold on, missed the lyric there. Smearing a face, reflecting in the chrome. Interesting. Hiding in the crowd, I'm all alone. I remember reading somewhere is that things that secretly attract people is being not the center of attention, but a damsel in distress. So, taking the fact that the song itself is already kind of seductive with the way the beat goes off and like the background, like, and the piano, seductive, and then the fact that, you know, these songs are very, like, sad, and they make you kind of feel bad for the person, or do you think they make you feel like they're crazy? Definitely is coming off, like, secret attraction type thing, like, the rules of attraction type stuff. Damsel in distress in my lyricism gets people hot and want me, because I'm just so sad and alone. Take care of me. Anyway, we're going to continue. No one's ever single word I've said. Okay. They don't sound as good outside my head. So yeah. Back to what I just said about the seductive thing and the whole damsel in distress. I'm just definitely steering that way. Definitely there. I feel very like I want to take care of this person, and I want to, like, you know, I'm so sorry, no one's listened to what you've said, and no one, you know, your words, I'll listen, and you can catch me alone, and we'll be alone together. Just good stuff. It looks as though the past is here to stay. Okay. I've become 1,000,000 miles. Do you get all the love in the world? And then it just kind of repeats that line over and over. Why do you get all the love in the world? Now let's analyze this for a second. What could he possibly mean? Who is he talking to? Who is he talking to? My mother? Is he talking to me? Is he talking to my sister? Is he talking to that artist on the radio? Is he talking about maybe his idols? I don't know. I know that I get that way sometimes, where I'm like, I love these people and they're my biggest idols, but it just frustrates me that they were so successful. Like, I want to be successful. Like, why can't I be just as successful? Why do you get all the love in the world? I relate to this. I'm relating. Thank you, 9 Inch Nails. My nails are pretty short, but I understand 9 Inch Nails. Maybe he's talking to my mother. She gets a lot of love. I love my mom a lot. All the jagged edges disappear. Colors all look brighter when you're near. Yes. The stars are all afire in the sky. Yeah, it's very poetic. It's a very poetic lyrics. Nine Inch Nails. I'm very glad I took the time to check out your songs and, you know, really advance into what is with teeth. This album is great. I've actually only listened to this one song just now, and I kind of want to throw in some other stuff in here. You Know What You Are, The Collector, The Hand That Feeds lyrics, Love Is Not Enough, Every Day Is Exactly the Same. Interesting. Band similarities, we'll talk about that next. Now, for me, the bands that I think Nine Inch Nails resembles the most is stuff like Korn or Rob Zombie. I think, yeah, those are pretty much the most industrial bands I could think of. Maybe Tool, maybe a little, like, tiny bits of Perfect Circle, but just, like, tiny bits, like, squeezed in. Like, some of what 90s rock instilled, but not, like, a lot of it. Just a little bit of it. Bands, I guess, Korn kind of has that electronica part to it, and it gets. If you've ever heard "Freak on a Leash," this is definitely what I'm trying to get at when it comes to music like this. Rob Zombie has, like, the same sound, but not exactly the, since he's a director, he has a lot of music that, like, it, it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of the same, but like I said, being that he's a director, it's not, Nine Inch Nails kind of feels like it's directed towards someone versus Rob Zombie's, where it's just about, like, zombies and witches and horror stuff. Like, his are very horror-related lyrics, and I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty jazzy. Not literally jazz. He doesn't play jazz music. He plays, like, amongst industrial music, electronica type stuff. But that's kind of the differences between these bands. I feel like Nine Inch Nails is directly kind of commercialized when it comes to, like, sexuality, versus Korn and Rob Zombie, which Korn is kind of just about craziness. I mean, if you know more about Nine Inch Nails, please tell me in the comments. I would love to, you know, get some more education on this band, because they're pretty good, and it'd be nice to, you know, not be so misinformed about some of these bands. But from my knowledge, you know, Korn is kind of like crazy stuff, kind of like violence stuff. Rob Zombie is horror related and very, you know, he writes a lot of scary movies, so his lyrics and stuff, everything that kind of he puts his mind and effort into is gonna have probably that little edge of, like, horror movie and scariness to it. So System of a Down kind of plays a small place, but not, like, a lot, and that goes with, like, Perfect Circle and Tool. Okay, so the next topic we're talking about is singing and screaming style. Now, Nine Inch Nails doesn't really employ, like, a type of screaming that you would expect from, like, We Came as Romans or Bring Me the Horizon, or Sleeping with Sirens, for that matter. It's almost like a yelling scream. Even you could even say that they don't even take it to 21 Pilots. Like 21 Pilots kind of does a little bit of a yell in his song. These songs are kind of like angry singing. It's not really screaming per se. And I don't really have much to say about his singing. He's not a bad singer. I mean, it's not like gospel like Johnny Craig or Brandon Urie, if anything. It definitely has its own style, and it's pretty original. I think it definitely has its. It definitely takes it to that place of like. It's a very drawn-in voice. I was talking about this earlier about it takes Trent Reznor. Trent sings kind of has his own style, but he definitely drags it out, and it's not purposely seductive as much as I would like to say it is, but I think it does help the fact that his lyrics kind of kind of go there sexually, and I mean, they don't really get specific. Well, actually, one song is very kind of specific, but I think it's just it hits on the nose sometimes that the songs are trying to draw you in sexually, and his voice is deep, and it kind of has that effect, in my opinion. So yeah. Alright guys, if you like my video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other suggestions of bands you'd like me to review, or albums you'd like me to review, leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.